in cash, and I'm going to show you today not how to have $1 million laying around, but how to get your million, then what to do with it. I'm so glad to have you here. Here's my bold promise to you. Over the next 60 minutes, you're going to learn more about business, how to get money, how to keep money, than you have probably learned in your entire lifetime. That includes if you went to the Wharton Business School. I'm going to teach you the exact step-by-step process. In fact, I'm not only going to teach you, I'm giving you the exact plan, okay? The exact plan right here, the culmination of 40 years of studying, from being broke, in debt, to not being able to pay my rent. My rent was $275. I remember when I could not pay my rent. Throw it down in the chat. Have you ever been unable to pay your rent, or you had to borrow money to pay your rent? Because 3 times a year I was short on my rent checks, and I had to dodge the guy that owns the place. What's he called? Landlord. Oh yeah, the old landlord. Okay. I remember I'm 23 years old. I'm like, one day I'm gonna be a landlord. I couldn't even pay my $275. What was I thinking? Yes, I was dreaming. And you got to dream. You got to believe. You cannot live your life as a skeptic. If you live your life as a skeptic, you will always be broke, even when you have money. Today I'm living a life of freedom, and you should too. Okay, I'm not bragging with you. I'm trying to make it real to you. Listen to me. I'm not bragging to you right now. I'm not showing you this to show off. I'm showing you this so you can show up. The plan right here that I'm going to show you, by the way, is worth more than this stack of dough. Listen to what I'm telling you right now. This plan, this book, the information, the strategies and the techniques and the tips, I can only get this to grow so fast. When you take information and you have a plan and a strategy that's simple, this is your absolute fastest plan to building a profitable business, a highly profitable business, starting with yourself. It's entirely up to you what you do with this information. It's entirely up to me to deliver it to you. My purpose and meaning in life is to share with you what I've created in my own life and to share that with other people. I got mine, my wife's got hers, our kids are taken care of. I got a great business over here. My job now is to share that with you. For those of you who are open-minded, willing to do the work, this will change your life, okay? Look, it doesn't matter who you are, by the way. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter what your job is right now. What matters is, hey, are you committed to getting yours? Okay, now enough of the talk. Talk is cheap, the inspiration doesn't last, and I'm about to bring it to you, okay? So I hope you brought a pen, something to write with. Hope you're sitting in a quiet place. Jared, how are we looking in the chat room, Jared?
Man, we got people coming in from all over the place. We've got, let's see here, we got Sarah from Florida, Monique from Louisiana, Manuel all the way in
Manuel, how
Argentina.
you doing, brother? Good to see you.
Brad is coming all the way from Australia.
Big B in the down under.
I see Ohio, Ontario, Dubai.
So many people from all over the world have been supporting me in the last 10 or 12 years of my mission. Look, I love it. Keep the comments coming. Appreciate the feedback. Tell me what you're picking up. I'm laying something down. It hits you really hard. Post it in comments. We're going to be doing a Q&A at the end of this. So whatever's on your mind, you got questions, maybe something I hit on and it sparked an idea, make sure you throw it in the chat box. One more thing. I got a massive surprise I'm going to share with you at the end of this as well. I designed this workshop for 2 groups of people. The first group are my fellow entrepreneurs out there. Maybe you're just a startup and you're like, I'm trying to get my first $100 like you did, Grant, on Undercover Billionaire. Like just the first 100. How do I get that? And then how do I turn it to 500? How do I get 1,000? Look, maybe you have a business. Maybe you're a solopreneur. Maybe you're an independent contractor. What today is going to do is give you a clear path to growth. Okay, where do you go as a manager to grow and scale? Or where do you go as a solopreneur to grow and scale? Or if you're making $1 million or $10 million a year, how do you scale that? It's all the same game, by the way. An exact plan to scale to 10x levels is what everybody needs, regardless of where you are. The other group of people that I created this program for is for those who want to start a business. Maybe you're the manager and you just got let go of your job. I was let go of 6 of them. I was fired from 6 jobs. Can you imagine that? So I had to start over. Maybe you've dreamed about it for years. Maybe you failed a bunch. Maybe you're feeling like, hey, you're 50 years old and it's too late, or you're 20 years old and it's too early. Look, if that's the case, then you and I have a lot in common, okay? I have failed, just so you know, I have failed so many times. A lot of you see me with the jet today and the cars and the nice stuff. You see the cash showing off, the watches and stuff. Did you know that I was fired from McDonald's, man? Like I could not even be dependable enough to get the French fries out of the machine when it buzzed. Look, it doesn't get much worse than that. Here's the deal. Whether you hate your job or you love your job, if you've got that feeling deep down that you were meant to do something more in your life, and that something more requires money, listen to what I'm telling you. Whatever it is you can imagine yourself doing, whether it's traveling the world or changing the world, either one of those requires money. Something that could provide you with a second stream of income is maybe what you're interested in. Maybe you're interested in a third stream of income. Look, I'm telling you right now, if you're depending on one source of income, and I don't care who you are or how successful you are, you never want to depend on one flow of income. If you don't have multiple flows of income right now, you are being dumb. Sorry if that's too direct, but it is what it is. And for you to make a change, you got to get honest with yourself. Okay, if you're here with me right now today, really present, sitting there, paying attention, looking at this stack, listen to what I'm saying. Okay, if you want to do more, have more. There is so much money on this planet, it's unbelievable. Why don't you have yours? Why don't you have a surplus, an abundance? Why aren't you just have money coming from all these sources, right? I'm going to show you how to do this. If you are 100% dependent on someone else to pay your bills, you're in trouble. Listen to me. You're not putting yourself at risk, okay? You're putting your family at risk. You're putting your future at risk. And you're putting all your dreams at risk if you depend on one person for money. You got to know that's true. So while I can't guarantee you that you're going to make $1 million in 90 days, what I can guarantee you is that everything I'm going to share with you today works. As you can see in the workbook, we got a lot of ground to cover here. So I'm going to jump right into it. I'm going to teach you the #1 best business that you can start now. The 10 keys to growing and scaling any business. This is going to be good. The 7 secrets for getting business results faster than you ever thought possible. We're going to go through this, and you're going to want to just fill this workbook out as we roll through it. And look, if you don't have a printer handy, just grab a notebook. As long as you get the information, that's what matters most, okay? Jared.
Hey, G, before you jump into the workbook, can you let them know what the cash is for really quick? People are going nuts in the comments about it.
All right. The reason I have the cash here, some of you might know this story, but recently I starred on Discovery Channel's hit show, Undercover Billionaire. And to get that show, I had to make a bet. I fly out to LA, meet with Discovery Channel's entire executive board to close the deal. And to close the deal, I wanted this show. I wanted to get on the show because I knew I could do it because I know I got the plan. Okay? They said, okay. I said, tell me exactly what the show is again, even though I knew what it was. She's like, we're going to give you $100. I said, oh, wow, that's so generous of you. We're going to give you 90 days to do it. I'm like, no problem. That's actually a benefit. Most people think that that would be a problem. I thought it was a benefit. I'll tell you why later when we get into the book. She says, you lose your name, you cannot use your contacts. We're going to take away your old phone. We're going to give you a new phone, no contacts, 0 contacts. And you have to build $1 million business in 90 days. You think you can do it? I said, hey, how about this? How about I build a $10 million business? I'll do it in under 90 days. I only need about 60. Keep you $100. I don't need it, okay? And yes, I think I can do it. And I reached down, I grabbed my bag, and I said, I brought a gift for you. And in this bag right here was $1 million in cash. I said, I dumped it out on the table. I'm like, boom. She's like, are you real? Are you for real? I said, yeah, baby. Look, you can cut my hair. You can take away my name, take away my phone. You can give me a piece of shit truck. You can get me down to $100 if you want to, but I know how to make money. I have the strategy. Take everything away from me. I have to take my family away from me, my name, my Instagram, my social media. I know, take away my hair. It don't matter because you can't take away the strategy. And that is why I did the show, because I wanted to show people in America, you don't need money to make money, and you don't need a name, and you don't need all this stuff that people think they need. What you need is a strategy. It's not about me, by the way. That's why I'm here with you today. I want to help you now figure out how to get yours. When you watch this, you change your life. That's what I'm here for. Okay, let's make your life better. Let's make your community better. We've probably had more success stories than anyone else on the planet. So if you're ready for your big breakthrough, if you're sick and tired of seeing everybody else get theirs, let's get started on page 1 here. If we're going to get specific with the how-to stuff in just a minute, but this first section, this is one of the most important sections of the entire workshop, okay? So right out of the gates, I need you to get crystal clear on what your targets are. Okay, so grab your pen, turn to, what do you want out of this workshop? Target your revenue goals. More specifically, I need you to write down how much money you want to make in your business. And look, if you don't have a business yet, don't worry about it. We can change that today, because the reality is you need to have a business in this day and time, at least for the tax write-offs. It's like my friend Kevin Hart said. I was interviewing him at 10X Growth Conference 2 years ago. He says, you don't just need a business. You are a business. I thought to myself, I think he's stealing my stuff. Okay? Everybody's a business. My kids are a business. You are a business. You're an entity. You're an individual and a unique entity. Kevin went from nothing. Remember that story of Kevin Hart? He went from nothing to being the #1 highest paid comedian in the world today. So look, you got to start thinking, #1, like a business owner, and business owners have targets. Okay? Right here in your workbook or on a piece of paper or whatever you've got, write down your annual revenue goals for 1 year, for 3 years, and then for 5 years. Like, you can get as specific as you want about your goals. 100,000 year 1, maybe $1 million by year 3. Maybe it's 1 million in year 1, 10 million in year 3, and 100 million in year 5. You got to decide what your target is, but I'm going to tell you this. If you don't set a target, you ain't going to hit it. You're going to go nowhere. On Undercover Billionaire, they gave me a very specific target. Here's $100. Can you turn it into $1 million in 90 days? Boom. I said, let's do 10 million. Why not? It's all stupid anyway, right? Instead of doing 1 million, I'm going to try to do 10 of these. You got to set big goals. The only reason people don't is they're worried about failing on the big goal. I'm like, yeah, so what? So what you fail? It's better to fail on a big target than come up short on a small target. If you're taking notes, look, think big. It doesn't cost anything. Oh, but I'm going to be so upset if I don't hit it. I promise you, you won't hit it. Listen to me. Set big targets, and I guarantee you ain't going to get it, okay? You understand what I'm saying? So you can think big and just know going in, I'm going to come up short. I'm good with that. I'm fine. I wrote a best-selling book, international phenomenon, called the 10X Rule. And it's all about 10X bigger goals, which will force you to 10X your efforts, and then to 10X your spending, 10X your network, to 10X all your think, to 10X what you're looking at. Now I know, oh, I want something that big. Now I can tell you, if your goal is less than $1 million in 3 years, it's probably because you don't know what you're capable of. If you put a target less than $1 million, it is because you have not been in the environment of big think. I'm willing to bet that half the people that are watching right now haven't even done this exercise before in their life. 1 year, 3 year, and 5 year targets. If you can't commit to making a plan, okay, like this is not a target. I want to get out of debt. All right, okay, that's not a target. Okay, let me just show you this, all right? Because I want this training to be, important to you, okay? And I want it to be, Johnny, help me out, help me move this around, all right? I want this training to benefit the way you're thinking. I don't want it to just be hype. So the reason I brought the $1 million is why? Because I'm already teaching you something right now, if you're paying attention. See, some of you are like, oh, why is he showing me $1 million? Why has he got to show off like that? You're missing the point. I'm showing you the money so you can see it and not read about it. You need to see that it's real, particularly with money. I remember I was with a guy that just sold his company at $4.4 billion. He had this big capital event happen to him in his life, sold his business. And I was with him. I got to spend 90 days with this guy traveling around the world. And I said, hey, Bob, can you just show me your checking account, your financial accounts? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I just want to take a look at your savings account. I want to see your Schwab account, or wherever you keep your money, your Fidelity. I want to see your Goldman Sachs account. I want to see. He's like, yeah, here it is right here. Open it up. I was like, oh my God. He had like $423 million in a cash account. When it becomes real, that changed my life. Just seeing it. Don't tell me how you did it, man. You're smart enough to know right now you cannot expect something if you never set that target. Business is not, and getting wealthy is not a spectator sport. To get wealthy, create wealth, and to have a business that can create wealth, you have to get on the field. There's two kinds of people on this planet: spectators and players. Which one you going to be? So you got your targets set, all right? Maybe you changed them now. Maybe it's $1 million and 2.5, okay? This next exercise is about taking inventory